It was first built between 1671 and 1679 by Stanisław Heraclius Lubomirski to designs by the Dutch architect Tilman van Gameren. This complex included a garden. The town had passed to the Seniavski family by 1706, when the palace and its surroundings were destroyed by Swedish troops during the Great Northern War. Reconstruction began under Elżbieta Seniavska in 1722. Soon afterwards, Maria Zofia Czartoryska married August Alexander Czartoryski, and between 1731 and 1736, they built a new Rococo palace on the site to designs by Jan Zygmunt Dejbel. At the turn of the 18th and 19th centuries, Puławy was the center of political, cultural, and literary life. It happened thanks to Adam Kazimierz Czartoryski and his wife Isabella from Fleming, who brought the most outstanding artists, Jan Piotr Norblin, writers, Julian Ursin Nimcewicz, and architects, Christian Piotr Eigner, to the Puławski court. It was here, in the Temple of Sibyl of 1801 and the Gothic House of 1809, that the Duchess created the first museum in Poland. It has become the nucleus of a great collection cultivated to this day. At the end of the November uprising, the Czartoryski property was confiscated, and the Czartoryski family emigrated to Paris. In Puławy, the Alexandria Institute for the Education of Maidens was established, and subsequently the Polytechnic and Agricultural Forestry Institute and the Institute of Rural Land and Forests. Currently, the owner of the palace and park complex is the Institute of Soil Science.
Could you mention the most interesting exhibits that you have here in the museum, or the ones that are perhaps the most popular ones?
Tak naprawdę cała kolekcja księżnej Izabeli ma szczególnie wartość historyczną, ale też i sentymentalną. Jej pasje też powodowały to, że
The entire collection of Princess Isabella has a historical and sentimental value. Her passion made her do specific things, like stealing, in order to increase her collection. One of the stories can be the fragment of the school of the Polish King Bolesław I the Brave, which she brought here from Poznań. The then writers described the situation. People who came with here from Puławy to Poznań were trying to distract others' attention so that Princess Isabella could steal our king's skull. Relics were a form of commemorating the most important figures in the history of Poland, including kings, hetmans, and national heroes. In our collection, we can see a fragment of a bone of Hetman Jan Karol Chodkiewicz, or ashes of Władysław Hetman and Bolesław III Wrymouth. So Princess Isabella loved to collect it with her passion. She was actually a maniac. She admitted it herself and wrote that she is sick because of her love for Poland. She was overcome by the collection mania. She forced people to buy her souvenirs. We can see a beautiful sculpture of the sleeping mountain lion, which was originally located in the entrance of the Puławscy family garden. At that time, Princess Isabella sent many letters to her son, Adam Jerzy Czartoryski, who was in Italy. She told him that she has to have the sculpture of the sleeping mountain lion because she has to have something ancient. But her son sent her something totally different. She got mad at him and told him that he acts exactly like people at the market in Łęczna because she got what she didn't want. Of course, I'm only paraphrasing her words, but that was the way she received some of the souvenirs. In the Krakow collection, there is an unforgettable Shakespeare's chair. She described the way of buying it in one of her letters. The child that was taking care of it didn't want to sell it. The girl even put it in her mouth because she didn't want to sell it anyone. So these keepsakes belonged to Poland. They were very sentimental. I mentioned a branch of cider planted near the grave of the first president of the United States, or the buttons from his coat. In our exhibition, we have a small box which contains a lock of hair of the Polish king Zygmunt I, the old of a fragment of the robe which belonged to the hetman Stanisław Żółkiewicz.
Zygmunta Starego, czy też fragment szat hetmana Stanisława Żółkiewskiego.
Were all the keepsakes collected by Princess Izabela Czartoryska?
To są pamiątki zebrane przez księżną Izabelę Czartoryską. Ona często sama podróżowała, żeby te pamiątki zdobyć. Udawała się między innymi na Wawel.
Yes, these keepsakes were collected by Princess Izabela Czartoryska. She used it to travel a lot in order to collect as many as she could. She visited Wawel many times. Let's not forget that it was the time of Poland's partitions. The invaders were destroying kings' graves and the Wawel's graves. So the princess knew exactly what was going to happen. She had this gift that she felt the history. We can now watch the famous Wawel's heads in Krakow thanks to her. The Wawel's heads were located here in the collection of Izabela Czartoryska originally. There is a very interesting anecdote conveyed by the Puławy's guests or inhabitants of the Vistula residence. The princess put these heads in one of her rooms on the last floor in the palace where the court service used to live. But the court service couldn't sleep. They were afraid of these heads because they could talk. Because of that, Princess Izabela decided to move them into the Gothic house. So the stories associated with her purchases were very funny and diverse. She received many donations as well. So not only things she bought herself, but also donations which she got from the then most important representatives of our nation. She received gifts from the Prince Józef Poniatowski. She especially honored Prince Józef Poniatowski. When he died during the Battle of Leipzig, she decides to honor his memory and creates a monument from the black marble. It was located in the sanctuary in Sibylla. In the same sanctuary, Prince Józef's broadsword was hanged there, which he used in the Battle of Nations.
Tam też został zawieszony pałasz, który książę Józef trzymał w dłoni w trakcie właśnie Bitwy Narodów.
A z jakiego względu? What was the reason why she felt the sympathy towards him?
Księżna Izabela czciła głównie bohaterów narodowych. Współczesnym księżnej był wspomniany wcześniej książę Józef Poniatowski, ale też chociażby Tadeusz Kościuszko.
Princess Izabela honored many national heroes. At that time, one of them was Prince Józef Poniatowski and Tadeusz Kościuszko. The Czartoryski family supported the Kościuszko uprising, which is why their property was confiscated. The Puławy's goods were supposed to be stolen, but the Russian ambassador to Poland helped him. He told Princess Izabela to send her sons Adam, Jerzy, and Konstanty as hostages to the Tsar court to Petersburg. The Czartoryski family's property was not confiscated, but the family continued to support the national heroes, Józef Poniatowski and Tadeusz Kościuszko. The Czartoryski family honored past heroes of Poland. Poland as a kingdom of Poland, from times when we were winning every single battle. Princess Izabela introduced the widespread cult of King John III Sobieski. She had many keepsakes, even from Vienna. From this period of time, we have here in Puławy many things, like pillows bought on markets near Vienna, or such small items as Eastern sabers.
Czy też szable wschodnie.
Is most of the keepsakes of the Czartoryski family in Poland?
Yes, most of the keepsakes are in the Czartoryski Museum in Krakow. I hope that we will be able to see a beautiful exhibition at the end of the year, but part of it can be seen here in Puławy.